Peace, family. Shalom, shalom. Climb on in. I know y'all looking like, why the screen looking weird, y'all, Key? But y'all know I'm finna share some things with y'all today. I told y'all I was gonna start doing visuals and walking y'all through the anatomy of the body to show y'all how to heal the body. So y'all climb on in. We're gonna get this started. Let me do my invitations and invite everybody. Climb on in. I got some stuff to show y'all today. And at the end of this video, I'm doing a giveaway. I actually got a high-end juice extractor, a high-end one, and I'm gonna tell y'all how to get that. So at the end of this, we most definitely gonna be doing a giveaway. Y'all climb on in, and we're gonna talk about how to truly heal the body. I want to show y'all the anatomy of some things. We're gonna go in depth today. Peace, peace. Climb on in, family. Climb on in. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Well, it's already shared. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my stuff though. And I'm gonna wait till everybody climb on in. So y'all climb on in and let's get this started. I'm gonna start this off with this today. Matter of fact, we started off with this one. All right, y'all climb on in. I'm finna look through my phone. That's the way I'm gonna be able to see y'all comments. I'm gonna wait till a few more people get in here. We're gonna get this started. If y'all can see my screen good, type in some 9s for me too. Climb on in. This is called a deeper look into true healing, y'all. A deeper look into true healing. We really finna break down on how to heal the body and what's going on with the body. And if we can solve just this one system, you can literally heal 80% of your problems that's going on. So I really want to talk about it. Climb on in, family. Climb on in. Troy Thomas, shalom, shalom. Wamina, shalom. Dominic Bolden, shalom. Freddie Bates, Hosea, Miss Ray, shalom, shalom, family. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in. So basically, I really want to show y'all where most sickness and disease started, how it started, why it started, and how you can get rid of it and prevent it yourself. Because at the end of the day, my main goal is to teach y'all how to be your own doctors, how to be your own healers, be your own herbalists, be your own botanical masters, where y'all mastering these plants and using them and utilizing them yourself. You mastering your diet and you know what to eat and what not to eat. But before we get that far, we have to learn this system. And this is what you're looking at is the digestive system. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. But we're going to break the whole digestive system down because a lot of y'all are going through this right now. And that's why you don't feel good. That's why y'all sick. What I'm finna go through, this is one of the main problems to colon cancer, to pancreatic cancer, to diabetes. I mean, any disease that you can think of is a part of this system and starts from this system right here. So climb on in. So if y'all ready to get started, type in some 9s and we're going to get it started and we'll let everybody else pile on in when they can. Justin, shalom, shalom. Type in some 9s when y'all ready and we'll get it started. Let me see. Go up out of there. We're going to start right at the digestion. Pull this one up. All right, can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me good, let me know. Because I can't see none of the... I'm looking at the comments through my phone, so... Let's see what's going on here. If I can get a better look if I do it this way. Okay, I can hear. Okay, I see. All right, we all good, family. All right, so look, let's get this started. All right, so I want to start this off basically talking about the digestive system because a lot of people don't understand what the digestive system is. The digestive system is a system that literally digests your food for nutrients. Everything that we go through, everything that we do, the whole entire purpose of your body is for absorption, which means you're absorbing nutrients to feed to your bloodstream, and elimination. The excess things that you didn't need, your body's supposed to eliminate it. What's going on inside of our bodies and why we're so sick is because we have elimination problems and we have absorption problems, all right? So your digestive system starts at your mouth, y'all. That's where the digestive system starts at. It starts at your mouth. And if you actually look at the mouth, I'm going to try to blow it up. I should have got a better picture. The first part of digestion is your teeth. Your molars is for grinding. Your two front teeth and your fangs, these are literally for tearing and ripping. ripping fruits, ripping vegetables. It's not for meat, and we're going to prove that too. And then you have something called salivary, or what you call saliva glands. And these salivary glands break down into parotides, right? The parotides come in three pairs. You got parotides, you got sublingual, which means just under the tongue, and then you got submandibular, and this is in the back of your molars. So these things actually secrete. When you look inside of a human mouth, the reason why your mouth be watery is because you have all these glands inside of your mouth that actually goes through your food and make your food become a liquid while you chew it. See, what we've been doing is we just been chewing our food and swallowing it in chunks, and that's not the way you're supposed to eat. Whenever you eat, you're supposed to utilize every saliva glands inside of your mouth to water your food, and you use your teeth to grind your food up, then you swallow it. All right, so the best way to start really healing yourself properly is this. Let's just start chewing our food correctly, because now you ain't got to deal with you swallowing a hamburger down your throat, and now you got gas and interjection. Now you farting everywhere, or you bloated because your food is not digesting properly. You see what I'm saying? I wish you had a mouse. I got a mouse. Can you see it? Can y'all see my marker? If y'all can see my marker, let me know, and I'm gonna keep it going. If y'all can see my marker, let me know. See, how can I keep it like that? But it won't let me, y'all can see my marker? All right, let's get it. Let me see if I can find a better picture for y'all. Let me see if I can find a better picture of the actual mouth. And y'all know me, I went on Google and just Googled all these images for y'all can see them. Let's see if I can find a better picture of the mouth. I can't. Here it go right here. Okay. Here go one right here, y'all. All right, so this is the mouth. Y'all see it? And it's a black woman. Y'all all praises. So y'all see the teeth. So soon as the food go into your mouth, you immediately start chewing it. This is called digestive machinery, y'all. That's what your teeth are used for. It's for grinding your food. Everybody think the tongue is just for talking, but it's not. The tongue is one of the strongest and longest muscles inside of your body. What happens is when you chew, and then these saliva glands that's behind your molars, the saliva glands or the salivary glands that's under your tongue, the ones that's at the palate of your mouth, these secrete out something called amylase. What amylase is an alkaloid solution, y'all, and it literally breaks down other alkaline food. Or you got something called lysozyme. This is another alkaloid that breaks down your food. Now, the thing is, if you're putting something in your mouth that's not alkaline, then it's going to have a bad time or a hard time breaking it down while it's in your mouth, because these alkaline secretions is made and created to break down alkaline foods, all right? So notice when you chewing your food become watery. That's because your mouth is trying to break this food up enough to get down your esophagus and go into your stomach for further digestion. Okay, so check this out. So you chewing. You're supposed to chew your food as much as you can, get it liquefied as possible, then you swallow it. Okay, now once you swallow it, this is what happens. Once you swallow this food, then the salivary glands go and get it all warmed up. It starts going down the esophagus. This is the esophagus right there. Let me blow it up. This is your esophagus. Now, inside of your esophagus, there is no absorptions right now. You have millions of little bitty cells, or what we call lymphatics, interstitial fluid, y'all, that actually have glands inside of this fluid that secrete mucosa. So now you have chewing all your food up from in this area. All right. Your salivary glands have watered it down. You have took your first step to digestion. Now you get into your digestion, right? Now it's starting to go down, and then mucosa from the lymphatic system, right, starts secreting from interstitial fluid. Now the mucosa start wrapping up this food, right? It start wrapping up this food, getting it ready to go inside of your stomach, okay? Now, in order for any food to go inside of your stomach, right, any food, you have something called a cardiac spectra. Now, this cardiac spectra is like a doorway right here, if y'all can see me. It's a doorway. This thing supposed to stay closed most of the day to keep food in and keep food out from your stomach. Well, when you have bad digestive problems, it stay open the whole time. And this is the reason why a lot of people are dealing with heartburn, dealing with bloating, dealing with acid reflux, because it's a door right here. And this door is supposed to stay closed once food enter it. It's called cardiac sphincter, y'all. Cardiac sphincter. I spell it for y'all. Sphincter is S-P-I-N-C-T-E-R. Cardiac sphincter is a door right here. Okay. Now, once this door go open, what happens is the food that's been wrapped up in the mucosa, that's been chewing and broken down by your molars and by your salivary glands, the secretion, it goes into the stomach. When it goes inside of the stomach, it goes through another digestive problem. Now, at this point, we still don't have any absorption. All we doing right now is breaking down food, getting food ready to absorb the nutrients, the amino acids, and the minerals from the food. All right? If we got that so far, type in some nines and we'll keep going. Any questions so far from the mouth to the salivary glands down to the esophagus, to the cardiac sphincter, and going into the stomach? If we got any questions pertaining to that, for y'all can get a better understanding before we keep going, y'all can ask now. And if not, type in some nines and we'll keep going. Monique said she currently trying to chew as much as possible before swallowing. Queen, you got to do it like that. It'll be best. And this is how you know. Shalom, shalom, Elder Rufus, Mama in the building. Timothy Carter, shalom, shalom, everybody that's coming in. And look, this is how you know that you're not supposed to be eating all of these acid and hard foods. Like, your body is made to break down simple foods, y'all. So if I ate a hamburger right now, say the hamburger started in my mouth, right? My teeth is right here. And then my salivary glands start secreting these alkaloids, the amylase and the lysozymes. Man, it's going to take literally 15 to 30 minutes just to break it down as much as I can, it will not break down completely before I swallow it. So you literally swallowing chunks of food. This throw off the whole digestive system, because now it's hard going down the esophagus. Now that little trap door that's called the cardiac sphincter is hard to open because it's not ready. The stomach is not ready to receive the food. You see that? The stomach is not even ready to receive the food at this point. But the thing is, once this door open and the food go into there, you have something that sits in this part of the stomach, y'all. Right here. This is the stomach. Everybody think your stomach is your gut. They call all this the stomach. This is not your stomach. Your stomach is this little part right here. Matter of fact, let me show y'all a better picture of it too. Give me 1 second. I'm not trying to be so bouncy, y'all. I want y'all to have clear understanding of what we talking about here. Okay, so look, now we entering into the stomach. This is the stomach, y'all. So look, here go the esophagus, and then they call it the cardia sphincter, but it's really called the cardiac sphincter. And then the reason why is because it's going up and it flows towards the heart. Now, once it comes through this door, your food go inside of this chamber. Well, inside of this chamber, you have something called gastric folds, and inside this gastric folds, you have something called gastric acid, right? This gastric acid is called HCI. Hydrochloric acid. Then it produces something else called pepsinogen. Pepsinogen actually breaks down by the hydrochloric acid and turns into pepsin, right? This is where you get the word Pepto-Bismol. Have you ever seen somebody that always bloating, always got heart problems, always got heartburn, always got acid reflux? They take a lot of Pepto-Bismol, which is short for pepsin. It's a fake pepsin because your stomach can't produce it no more because your digestive system is dying out. And whenever your digestive system die out, you die out because you literally have more neurons, melanin neurons transmitter inside of your stomach or your gut wall than you have in your brain, y'all. That's why they call the gut the second brain. You have more intelligence, you have more informational highways, and you have more neuron melanin transmitter throughout your gut that communicate with the brain than the brain communicate with the whole entire body. You see that? So your stomach is literally the control center of your whole body. Everybody say the central nervous system is, but no, it's really the autonomic nervous system. And this is what runs the gut. This is what runs the stomach. This is what runs the pancreas, the liver. I mean, we can go so on and so forth. So once you get this brain together, the whole body will correct itself. And I'm finna show y'all this through the presentation. All right. So look, now we got the food. The food now have passed the cardiac sphincter, right? Now it's inside the stomach. It sits inside the stomach. When it sits inside the stomach, it's circular layers up inside of here that actually roll and toss your food through the gastric folds. When it does that, you have something called lymphatic mucosa that comes in and it literally wraps your food up like a spider do a web. You know how a spider wrap a bug up in a web? This is what the mucus do to your food while it's in the stomach area, and then it puts a code on it. This code is a timer. What is the timer used for? The timer is used for, say if I ate a bunch of peanuts or a bunch of kidney beans without them being sprouted. Well, the only thing that can break down beans, since beans are nothing but complex amino acids, what we call proteins, only thing that can break that down is pepsin, y'all. Nothing else can break that down. That's why if mineral proteins must be broken down in the stomach due to the gases and the acids that's in the stomach before it gets to the kidney, because if it gets to the kidneys can't filtrate or process it, then it backs your system up. Okay, so what happens is your stomach is going to try to pull what can nutrify the body first. Whatever brings the nutrients first, that's what it's going to digest first. So if I eat some peanuts or some beans, right, it's going to wrap that up and put a timer on it. The timer going to be at least 40 minutes to 3 hours. Just to start breaking this down, because that pepsin and that hydrochloric acid got to get in there and start breaking it down. Say if I 2 minutes later, let's say 2 minutes later, I eat an apple. Guess what the apple gonna do? Once it goes through my teeth, down my esophagus, and then go through the cardiac spectrum, it's gonna come down. It's gonna get wrapped up, but it's gonna pass through. Because I can get more nutrients from that because it's easily digestible more than the hamburger, more than the kidney beans that haven't been sprouted. You see what I'm saying? More than the peanuts that I've been eating that's full of complex proteins and polypeptides and molecules. So that literally your stomach is a time capsule. That's what your stomach is. It's a time capsule. Yes, anxiety most definitely comes from the gut, and we're going to show that too. So once all these things get inside the gut, right, now you go into the pyloric spectrum. Now, this is another door that opens up and sends all the food, once it's been processed and broken down in this area through the gastric folds due to hydrochloric acid and due to pepsinogen, which is converted to pepsin, where you get your word Pepto-Bismol. Once it's broken down, now it's ready to go through another door. Now, all of these doors open and close by way of the nervous system. So 2 things this shows and tell me is that the stomach and the nervous system is made up of the same exact cells, just like the skin is made of the same exact cells, right? Another thing this tells me is that the nervous system is attached to my stomach in a way no other system is in my entire whole body, because these things happen without you even telling it to do so. The nerve endings automatically see, and then I forgot to tell you, you have something called gut flora, right? That sits inside of these that have trillions of hair inside of them. That's why when you see people go bald on their head, they didn't go bald on their head first. They went bald inside of their body. You have trillions and trillions of hair inside of your body that help you move this process along. How do you think your food actually get to your anus? That's through muscle control and hair. Did y'all know that? That's through muscle control and hair. So once all the food gets done inside of here, then the pyloric spectrum opens up. Now it's going through the duodenum. Now the duodenum is where all the absorption happens. So check this out, y'all. We've been thinking all our life that you can go and eat, and once you start eating, it goes through your esophagus and it hit this little part called the time capsule or the stomach. That this is where all the phytonutrients goes inside the bloodstream at, but it's not. Your body still haven't absorbed anything so far. You literally ain't doing nothing but digesting and breaking down food. That's all you doing so far until the pyloric spectrum open. Now we finna get into the digestive nutrients absorption. And no absorption has been taking place so far. So I want to take y'all back through it one more time. All right. So we see that you start from the mouth by chewing with your molars and chewing with your teeth. You're breaking down your food. Your salivary glands or your salivary glands, whatever you want to call them, the doctors call it either or, they start breaking down and moisturizing his food with these alkaloids. These alkaloids are enzymes called amylase and lysozymes. Once they break down this food, then you swallow it. Your tongue help you swallow it. If you swallow right now, everybody, if you ain't got no food in your mouth, just swallow so slowly. You will see your tongue go to the roof of your mouth and push back. Swallow right now. You will see your tongue hit the pellet of your mouth, and then it will push something down. It will push your spit down your throat. That's what your tongue is used for. It's not only used for speaking, but it's used for pushing food down your throat after you have completely broken it up. All right, I'm gonna show y'all where sickness come in at though. We finna get a depth understanding where all sickness started. It starts in that first brain, which I call the gut, y'all. I'm telling you. So once that food goes down, right, in the esophagus, now inside the esophagus, you have the mucosa, what we call lymphatic interstitial fluid, that have glands inside of these cells that further make your food warm and wrap it up and make it like this gooey, smooth type of thing for it can go down the esophagus and then it goes through the stomach, right? All right, now it's in the stomach. Remember, once it gets to the stomach, it goes inside the time capsule. The stomach is the time capsule. This is right here. Notice that the spleen always sit right in the back of the stomach. We're going to get to that too. So it goes through the time capsule. While inside the time capsules, you have something called hydrochloric acid. Let me show y'all a picture of that. And if I'm moving too fast, let me know and I'll slow down for y'all. Let me show y'all a picture of the hydrochloric acid. Okay, here go a good picture of it right here. Now, y'all see this? Y'all see the flow? This is what I'm talking about. This is the HCI, the hydrochloric acid mixed in with the pepsinogen, or what we call pepsin. Now, once your food hit this stuff is so strong, it can burn a hole through a concrete. Do you realize you have over 80 different layers of skin? Each one is coated with some mucosa just to keep this stuff from burning through your skin? Because the acid that you have in your stomach can literally burn a hole through concrete. This is how you breaking up food. This is how you breaking up these polypeptides. This is how you breaking up complex amino acid structures that we call protein. Without this, you cannot live because you cannot break down any food. And without breaking down food, you cannot get no absorption. And you don't live by things you eat. You live by the simple complex, the simple molecules inside the food that you eat. So at this point, if you eat a hamburger, it's not a hamburger once it hit here. That hamburger is going to be broken down to simple amino acids. It's going to be broken down to complex sugars. Then these complex sugars, which we call polysaccharides, going to get broken down to bisaccharides, which we call a mid-complex sugar. Then that mid-complex sugar get broken down to something called a monosaccharide. And this is a simple sugar that your body needs, which is either going to be a glucose, a fructose, or if you're a baby, a galactose. You see that? So all these it don't look like that once it hit here. It's breaking down and breaking down. Now, once all of it break down, now the parallax spectrum opens up. Y'all see the arrow. Now we finna go into the absorption stage. If we understand that so far, type in some nines and we can keep going. Keep going. If we understand that so far, type in some nines and we'll keep it pushing because it's finna get deep now. So we understand through this whole process, no absorption, no nutrients have been given to the body. Right now, it's just all machinery breakdown and byproducts. That's all that's going on. Pastor Dow in the building. Shalom, shalom, Pastor. How you doing, brother? All right. Okay. So look, now check this out. Check this out. So now it went into this part called the duodenum. Okay, now before we break down the duodenum, I want to show you what your intestines is like. Okay, I just want to break that down. We get back to it, family. We get back to it. Let me show y'all something real fast. Let me show y'all something real fast. Okay, now when you look at the gut, we're looking at the gut right now. The gut is all of this. Everything that you see on the screen is considered the gut. The only thing that's considered your stomach, we've been naive and we've been calling everything else our stomach. This is your stomach. Where my marker at? This is your stomach. This is not your stomach. This is your large intestine. The reason why they call it the large intestines, I call it the colon, is because it's large in width. It's not larger than your small intestine. Your small intestine is like 32 feet long. You see what I'm saying? So right now, the stomach, once it goes through the duodenum, it goes inside the small intestine, y'all. All right, now I want to break down and show y'all what goes on in the duodenum. And notice what's behind the duodenum, your pancreas. This yellow part you see behind the duodenum and behind the stomach is the pancreas. This green part you see is actually your gallbladder. These play major roles in your digestive system. Now, this big old flap you see is called the liver. Now, the liver is the chemical factory of the body. So any chemical enzymes that I need to help me break down my food is going to break down, and then it's going to break down and become something called bile. Bile of bilirubin. Anybody that had children that was born with a bilirubin, I know what I'm talking about. And this bile breaks down. When this bile breaks down, it creates amino acids. Say if my stomach gets something and before it go into duodenum, it need to become a complex protein again. What my liver will do, my liver will make the enzyme to become that protein again, and it will pass it to the gallbladder, and then the gallbladder will bang it into the pancreas, and then the pancreas and the gallbladder will work together to get it inside the duodenum. We're going to show you the back end of this and how this works. Where all your sickness start at is right here, y'all. This is where it starts at. Right here, and then it gets worse. When it gets real bad, it's right here. This is what caused the whole body to be sick. I don't care if you talking about cancer. I don't care if you talking about diabetes. What is diabetes? Diabetes is what? It's the pancreas being weak. The pancreas being weak. You see that? Any other things be the liver being weak. Then you got the spleen that sits behind the stomach that actually create new blood cells. I mean, look, this system is so amazing. You cannot sit here and be looking at this stuff and see how these things work on a molecular structure and not believe God, period. You cannot. It's impossible. These things have their own timing. They think for themselves. You don't have to do no thinking for them. All of that. All right, so look. So this is the stomach, y'all. This yellow part, we're going to get better pictures too. This yellow part you see, behind it is the pancreas. This green part you see that looks like a little dying, I like to call it like a dying lily leaf. This is what you call the gallbladder. Now, what sits on top of the gallbladder is the liver. Now, once you pass through the duodenum, you enter into what you call the small intestine. The small intestine actually breaks down into some things. All this is the duodenum. Once you pass and you get inside the other part, this becomes the jejunum, the jejunum. All right, this is this part right here. Once you pass through the jejunum, now you go through the ileum. Now, once you get through the ileum, this is where your food literally starts to take off and get ready for preparation. Do you know your food actually ascends up the colon? Then it goes through the transverse colon. Then it descends down the descended colon wall. Then it comes into the rectum, and then it passes through the anus. Do you know how many chemical processes go on through these stages? And what's happening is we are short of amino acids. We are short of minerals because we're not eating the right food. And we are short of patience, and we're not strong-minded enough to watch what we're eating. And this is where all the breakdown go and happen at. And from here, you get your parasites. From here, you get your cancers. From here, you get your erectile dysfunctions. From here, you get your emotional aspect. Do you know your food and what you eat and the way it's absorbed control your emotional ability to think? So everything that we're talking about take place right here. All right, so look, now we got to focus on this thing called the duodenum. So let me find a good picture for the duodenum. Let me see if I can find a good one on that. All right, so we got it, went through the stomach, bang, bang. Now let's talk about the duodenum. Now this is where all of your absorption really take place at, okay? So once it gets inside the duodenum, right, this is that little part. Let me show y'all real quick. Let me go back just to show y'all, so y'all can have this all in y'all heads. Okay, so look, again, family, this part right here is the duodenum. This part that I got my marker on. Once it leaves the stomach, it goes inside of the duodenum, or what they call the Pyrex spectra. This is a door. It opens up by the nervous system. The autonomic nervous system open up this door. Then your food that was food now is basically broken down. It still needs some more breaking down to do, but it goes inside the duodenum. This is the duodenum before it gets inside the small intestine. So this is the duodenum, y'all. So let's blow up a picture of the duodenum, but we can check out what the duodenum actually does. All right, so we're blowing up the duodenum. Now, this is the duodenum. Here is where all of your absorption really take place at, because what's inside of here is called gut flora. Inside of this gut flora, we got something called villi. It looks like literally trillions and trillions of hairs. So you have all types of good bacteria called bidiphilum bacteria that's inside of the duodenum, y'all. Now, the first section is the small intestines, right? That links up to the duodenum, right? And it's literally 8 to 11 inches long, all right? So this is what you call through the common duct bowel. Y'all remember when y'all seen that green thing? That green thing that I said was the gallbladder? Well, the gallbladder in the pancreas forms something called a common duct bowel that feeds this duodenum all the enzymes from the liver. So all of your chemicals is coming from the liver through these small duct bowels, through these little parts right here, and then it goes straight into the duodenum, okay? Now, what the duodenum does is it receives digestive enzymes or alkalizing sodium or bicarbonates. Okay, bicarbonates from the pancreas, from that yellow piece I showed y'all. And this is called alkalizing bowel, and from the gallbladder and from the liver. And this is a major portion of your small intestines, and it actually breaks down and alkalizes your food. So even if you're eating food that's not alkalized, it's going to break down the foods and pull out the alkaloid particles inside of them, because your body is trying its best to heal itself. What happens is you keep sticking these things down your throat that don't need to be there, and you overwhelm it. You overwhelm it. Now, so inside of the duodenum, you have something called villi. So this villi, man, it's amazing what this villi do. And it look like small interstitial hairs, or what you call walls, right? And inside of this, it's got mucosa mucosa folds, or it's full of mucus. This mucus is called your stomach lining. This is actually what helps you out, or what they call microvilli. And what this does is it increases absorption to the intestines. All right, so I want to show y'all, once the food come up in here from the stomach, it goes and it sits and it waves through these little hairs. Let me show you what this villi look like. It get deep, y'all. Like, man, Most High is amazing once you really start looking at this stuff. All right, so we jumping a little bit because I got to show y'all this. So this the villi right here. So this the villi that's actually in the small intestinal wall. Y'all see that villi? Type in some 9s if y'all can see my screen. Type in some 9s. Type in some 9s if y'all can see my screen. But we can keep this going. I got a kind of like a delay on her. So if y'all can see my screen, let me know. Okay, cool. Now look, this is what the villi is. These are literally hairs that have nerve endings in each of them. But inside of all of these, guess what live inside of this gruddy place? Nothing but bacteria, Bellefoutaine bacteria. Okay, so what the bacteria does, the bacteria further breaks down the food. Now, if it's alkaline food, they don't have no breakdown to do because it was already broken down in the stomach. So it literally, the bacteria takes it to blood capillaries and carry it off through the bloodstream. But if you eating hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and all this meat, all these proteins, dairy, yeast, soy, all these things that ain't supposed to go into your body, now the microbes have to play a different job. Now they don't become the carriers, they become they the mortuary now, they the killers. They gotta further break down this food and kill it more if they can get good things up out of it. So people that's constantly taking antibiotics, you killing off your good bacteria. That's why you can't absorb nothing. That's why you have adrenal fatigue. That's why you are malabsorbed. You have malabsorption and you feeling tired all the time because you're not getting any oxygen and you're not getting any phytonutrients or melanin nutrients to your bloodstream because you don't have bacteria there to get it there because you done killed all your black bacteria off using what? Antibiotics. That's why antibiotics is very, very bad for you. Thank God that we got an appendix for people that keep the appendix, because guess what the appendix produce? Bellefoutaine bacteria and what you would call good parasites. There's such thing as good parasites. What happened is these parasites start losing their job and eating more and more, they become bad parasites. But all of these things and these toxins sit literally inside of your appendix. That's why the appendix is so easily inflamed and full of bacteria, and you got to get it taken out because you are using it the wrong way. And we're going to show that too. So look, these are the hairs that help push all your food into what? The large intestines. But look, we're going to get it. So right now we're going over the duodenum. This is inside the duodenum, y'all. Okay. Let me get up off of that. Show y'all again. Here go better picture for y'all can see it again. All right. So like we see the duodenum. We see how this work. We see the villi. Notice inside the villi, each villi have a blood, each villi have a lymph, and each villi have a nerve ending inside of the small intestines, right? And we're literally, y'all see all these bacteria inside of them? These bacteria further eats the food, and then it takes it to these capillaries, and it feeds the capillaries. Once you feed the blood capillaries, the blood pick up all the phytonutrients and take it out to each 150 trillion cells in your body and drop off what it needs. It's like the blood is like your transportation. It's like your train. It's your metro link. You know what I'm saying? And you just dropping different foods and packages off where you need to bring it to. Say if I lack oxygen, I need iron phosphate in the upper side of my body by my cardio, where my cardiac at. Well, the train or what your blood gonna do is gonna pick it up from the food you eat, due to the villi, due to the Bellefoutaine bacteria. It's gonna absorb through the duodenum, and then it's gonna absorb to the blood capillaries, and it's gonna take it there. Look, the cheeseburger didn't go there, the apple didn't go there, nothing I ate went there. It had to go through a breakdown phase first. Everything you eat get broken down into, look, listen to me, y'all, simple amino acids, simple sugars, and minerals. What happens inside of the duodenum too is you have something called a sodium conversion, where all the minerals actually stick to some type of sodiums, then they turn to salts. Because your body don't need minerals, your body needs salts. But what makes up minerals? What makes up salt? Complex minerals by mineral conversion. All right. If y'all understand me so far, type in some nines. I'm not sure because I know this sounds crazy sometimes. I know y'all like, what the hell is y'all keep talking about? So if I'm sounding super crazy, let me know. And we'll keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. All right. Type this now. Okay, y'all get. All right. Let's look. I just want to keep going over it again. So look, we done went through the mouth. We don't need to show no mouth no more. It went down the esophagus. The food is now broken down in the esophagus, and it's going to go through this trap door. The trap door is called the cardiac spectra. That's the door. Once that door opens, the food is in, it closes. Now it goes through a time capsule. We just going to say this is an alkaline food, okay? And then we're going to do the broke down, the bad food, the acidic food scenario too. So now that I ate my alkaline apple, I don't need to be in here for a long time because it's easily absorbed. It breaks down a little bit more, and then it goes into, then it leaves out the parallax. The Pyrolex spectrum now is inside of my duodenum. Now, once it gets inside this yellow duodenum, all of my absorption start happening because I have millions and millions of bifidum bacteria that's literally eating all of this stuff and then taking it and giving it to blood capillaries. Soon as it gets to blood capillaries, it goes throughout the body and it feeds my cells, right? Now, sometimes it don't always get all the blood capillaries, so then it goes through this purple part that we call the jejunum. Now the jejunum is 8 feet long. This is this purple part you're looking at, and they call this the jejunum. So it then went through the stomach, then it passes through the trap door and goes through the duodenum. Now once the duodenum gets all the best absorption ever, but it missed sometimes, and I'm gonna keep it real, it missed a lot of times. But look, thank God for the jejunum. Now you have another absorption that is going through, y'all. This is another absorption. Now, this is actually 8 feet long on the average adult. And it says the jejunum, it makes up 2/5 of the small intestines. Okay, so the digestive enzymes from the duodenum are now acting upon most of the food particles. So now it's activated. Not only did it get broken down more, but it still have alkaline activators in it while it's in the jejunum, right? So while it's in the jejunum, now all of your absorption and your phytonutrients is taking place again through more digestive enzymes and breakdowns and food particles into simple forms. So now that apple done broke down, let's say it done broke down into complex amino acids inside of here. Well, okay, so it gets inside of the stomach. It done broke down to the complex amino acids. Then it passed to the duodenum. Now it's breaking down to simple amino acids. Now it gets down into the jejunum. Now you breaking down into just like you have sections here. Now you have arginine, right? That's one amino acid you have. Now your body can take that well because it's not arginine with a lysine component to it. It's not, see, it's the simple amino acids that your blood need. Your blood do not need all these amino acids clumped together. This is what you call a protein, and it's very hard for the body to break it down because you don't have an acidic body to break these things down. You have an alkaline body. Even the hydrochloric acids in your stomach still acts as an alkaline when you said and done with it. Now, if you look at the same thing on an animal, say if you get a lion and you break open his anatomy, man, the stomach, the acid that's in his stomach can burn through metal. Yours can burn through concrete and wood, but the acid in a lion's stomach can burn through metal because he used to eat meats. Your body was not created and set up for that. You see what I'm saying? This is where all the sickness. So once we get done running through the system, I'm going to show y'all what the sickness is. It's what we're eating, what we put in our body. And sometimes, well, most of the time, since our genetics is so weak, you need herbs and botanicals to help you get these things out of your body. The first thing I do when I treat anybody, I have to address this system. Got to. Because look, this system dealing with the spleen does what? Filter the blood. This system deals with the stomach do what? Break down your food for you to be able to absorb food for you can be stronger. This whole entire system is deal with the what? The liver. The liver is the chemical factory of your body. What else this system deals with? The gallbladder. I mean, we can go so on and so forth. All the major roles of organs that play in your body is connected to your gut. So we have to look out for the gut before we can heal anything on your body. What you think the intercellular cleanse and the parasite elimination is for? These are for the guts and kidneys and the lymphatic system. We going after them simultaneously. This is how I'm able to pull off healing so quick. All right. So now it's in the jejunum, right? And we see what that do. Now it's going into the ileum. The ileum is this light purple one right here. All right. Now the ileum is 15 to 30 feet long, y'all. This little part right here is 15 to 30 feet. All right, so you got the duodenum, which is 11 to 12 inches. Then you have the the jejunum. The jejunum is 8 feet long, and then you get down into the ileum, and the ileum is literally 15 to 30 feet long. All right. Now look, this make up at least 3/5 of your small intestines. Okay. Now most of the byproducts is already digested and became amino acids and basic building blocks, became monosaccharides, or what we call simple sugars, or what the doctors call fuels, and fatty acids that's going to be used as oils and glycerins to be sent back to the lymphatic system. Right. Now, so what these things do right here, this is the last cleanup. Right here, a lot of water sits inside of this, and it helps pushes this into the cecum valve. So once it gets into the ileum, all water does is it flushes all this plaque off this, right? And then it goes into the cecum valve. Let's look at what the cecum valve is. Let me go back out. Go back in real quick. Let me see if I can find the cecum valve. Okay, I think I found it, family. Okay, so now here go the ileum, small intestines. So the way it gets into the large colon, y'all, is through something called the cecum. This is the cecum valve right here, the cecum door. Now inside of this is you have something called chyme. Now what chyme is, so say your food and broke all up. It's all gooey and gushy now, but you need it to become solid. So what the solids do is it turns it into your poop. This is what, and it got fiber in here. Well, it's what sits inside the cecum of the large intestines is fiber and something called chyme. Chyme is this greenish, brownish color. And that's why your poop be brown. It's this greenish, it look like mud. And what it does is it wraps around your poop and it makes it firm and before it can go up. Now what sits at the end of your cecum is your appendix. Now, why is it right here? The reason why it's right here is because if the bacteria, the good bacteria, didn't break it down enough, well, when it gets to the cecum valve, your appendix got bifidum bacteria in here just on reservation, and it relinquishes itself, and then it covers and it eats up all the more acid foods that the duum didn't get, that the jejunum didn't get, and that the ileum didn't get. You see how your body works? Man, your body is amazing, man. Straight up. And so a lot of the times this bacteria stays because you too bloated, you eating too much messed up food, so it gets swelling because this bacteria lives inside of you and they feast on each other and on each other's feces. Now you have a bacteria infection inside your appendix, and your appendix swole literally to a size of a small bottle, and they got to take it out because if it busts, it will go inside your bloodstream and you will die because there's nothing but good bacteria inside here. Now it goes inside the cecum. Now, when it get inside the cecum, you are starting to create something you call solidified poop, y'all. Now we finna get into the large intestine, or what we call the colon. All right? If y'all understand that so far, type in some 9s and we'll keep it going. Because now it's time to actually break down the colon. And I'm going to go back up to this picture for the colon. Because this is the colon right here. This large intestine, this whole thing is called the colon. So if we got this so far, type in some 9s, we'll keep it going. If anybody got any questions so far about what I've been talking about, y'all can ask it. According to what I've been talking about. Not no new questions, but according to what I'm talking about. Any questions before I keep going, family? Anybody that got gut problems need to understand this. Anybody. And this is why my 3 bitters are so amazing, because my 3 bitters literally offer all the bifidum bacteria you need. And it literally, it sets in a gut restoration, y'all. I'm talking about it fix all of this. We ain't gotten to the disease part yet. But once we get into it, it's going to be mind-blowing. It's so simple. We make this stuff hard. We make it hard. All right, so let's go through it one more time. All right, so it's in the stomach. It passes through. Now it's in the duodenum. Once it hit the duodenum, it goes into the jejunum. Once it get to the jejunum and it's passing. Let's go. Let's just walk it down. Now we passing into the ileum. Now it gets to the ileum and we get to what? The cecum. First, it got to pass through the cecum valve. Now it's in the cecum. When it get in the cecum, it become a solidified poop. And now this is your appendix right here. Your appendix is giving it more bacteria and more breakdown. This is what you call the ascending colon. The reason why it's called the ascending colon, because it's going up, y'all. It's going up. Your poop actually have to go back up into your body. Then it comes into the transverse colon. This is the transverse colon right here, this long piece that looks flabby. Now, when you have a prolapsed colon, this literally droops all the way down here. This is why you see people bellies that's over they belt. They have prolapsed colons, and then they can't get any food through, so the food builds up, and then it putrefies. Once it putrefies, it turns into fat solvents, and then your stomach becomes fat and full of fatty acids because it putrefied and it couldn't go nowhere. Then molds and fungi set in. That's why you see most fat people got toenail fungus and all types of ringworms on them, and that's because the mold and the fungus have nowhere else to go because it's trapped inside of the body. Now you got a sofa problem. When you got a sofa problem, you got problems, y'all. You got a lot of problems. What happens in the intestines when you fast? Queen, let's answer that after this. We're gonna answer that after this. So where does constipation happen? So constipation happens in here because you have a lot of, okay, I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you asked that, Queen. So the esophagus, when the esophagus come and you have, remember you have that door right here, right? We'll see that door right here. Remember what we called it? It's called the cardiac sphincter. Well, sometimes that door gets stuck closed because the autonomic nervous system is down, and because the adrenals are down. Remember, the adrenals control the autonomic nervous system. So if the autonomic nervous system is down, then it won't open. So it'll open up every now and then it will close and it won't open back up, meaning food can't get out. Now, you can be stuck right here inside of your constipation, right? Because your doors are not working, because your nervous system is down and you need to bring your nervous system back online. Or you can get it through here and then you can be constipated in here. So, and remember we talked about the mucosa system. Inside of each of these, you have something called interstitial fluid. You can be backed up and constipated lymphatically, y'all, because guess what you have inside of your whole entire intestinal walls? It's called the stomach lining. You don't only have a stomach lining inside the stomach, but you have this same mucosa that outlines your whole small intestines through the duodenum, to the jejunum, to all of it, even to your large intestine. So you can be backed up interstitially too. So a lot of people, you can be pooping and still be constipated because you can be backed up and constipated interstitially through your lymphatic system. So that's where you get people that poop a lot, but they're always tired. Even though it look like your digestive system good, you're still not absorbing anything because you're constipated, and the villi and the microbes are not feeding your blood capillaries any nutrients. You see that? What causes this section of vomit? What causes this section of vomit, again, is when this door don't close and it stay open. So constipation is when the cardiac sphincter stay closed and it don't open up. Or when the pylorus stay closed and it don't open up to get the food to go inside the duodenum. But what causes it to throw up is when it stay open, but this door stay closed. So what it's gonna do? You have pressurized hydrochloric acid inside the stomach. It's pressurized. So what it's gonna do is push the pressure, and wherever the pressure is pushing, it's gonna go through the open door. So whenever you're throwing up, this door does not close, and that's when it all comes up through the esophagus. And that's the same thing that happens to people with heartburn or people with acid reflux. This door don't close. And when that door don't close, you have that pressure you have this pressure inside of the stomach cavity walls that pushes that acid back up. Y'all see that? So that's how vomiting happens. All right, so look, let's keep it going. All right, now look, we was getting into the ascending colon. All right, let's get into the ascending colon, family. So now I want to show y'all some beautiful things about the ascending colon, okay? So now the crazy thing about the ascending colon, which is this big system right here, it's so many emotional components because these things are linked through your whole entire body throughout your nervous system. So once the food get inside the ascending colon, as you can see, let me blow it up again. Once the food gets inside of this colon wall, this is called the ascending colon because the food ascends. This is called the transverse colon because it's literally flat. It's like a transferring station. This is called the descending colon because this is the food actually digesting and going down. Then it goes inside the rectum, which is this little bump right here, or what you call the sigmoid colon, which is right here. And then it goes inside of the anus. And this is right here. All right. So once it gets inside of this colon, let's just take a good look at this colon. Now, You have something called neurolymphatic points that's all on your stomach, y'all, or what they call meridian or melanin clusters, y'all. This stuff exists. Y'all can look it up. It got all type of science on this. These things are actually connected to other things. So if we start from the bottom of the prostate, right? I mean, the bottom of the rectum is this little curve right here. This connects to your prostate. So anybody that have rectum problems have prostate problems. That's why in order for men to get a prostate massage, notice what they want to do to check your prostate. They want to stick something up your butt to check your prostate. So this rectum part right here is directly connected to the prostate. Then you have the sigmoid colon. The sigmoid colon right here is directly connected to your bladder. So if you have bladder problems, you have problems with your colon right here, y'all. Y'all see that? All right. Now, for people with testicles problems or ovary problems, whenever a woman or a man, whenever a woman have ovary problems or whenever a man have gonad problems, his problems right here too is with the sigmoid colon. He needs to address this. He has to get his colon clean before he can even address his penis and his testicles. You have to get this part of your colon clean in order to even address your ovaries. So this is why you have to pay attention and focus on the gut and on the stomach and on the small and large intestines in order to heal the rest of the body. So look, let's go back up to this descending colon. When you get up here, right at this point, it's a neurolymphatic point that's connected directly to your adrenal glands. So say if your autonomic nervous system down and your adrenals down, this area of the colon is already down. So I have to address this part if I can be moving and absorbing freely before I can even address my colon. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you keep going up and you get to this turn point of the large intestines, or what we call the colon. This is the transverse colon. This is the part of it. Your kidneys are affected right here. Your kidneys are electrical charged and connected to this part of the colon. Your pancreas as well. Remember, the adrenals on this part. Now, let's talk about the stomach. This part of your stomach is connected to this part of your transcolon. So whenever you have stomach problems, you have colon problems as well. Let's keep going. Low blood pressure. Many times people deal with low blood pressure. It's because of this part of the colon that deals with the kidneys, this part that deals with the adrenal glands, and then you're looking at this part right here. So whenever you are dealing with low blood pressure, I have to address your stomach. I have to address your adrenals. I have to address your kidneys. Remember, systolic is the adrenals, diastolic or diastolic is the kidneys. Y'all see how all of these things are connected together? All of these things are connected together, y'all. All of them. All of them. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hey, quit texting me. I'm live right now. You coming across my computer screen. All right, y'all. So now check this out. Now when you going past this and you actually get up, and so this is the ascending colon. Guess what this part is? This part is the heart. This connected directly to your heart, family. So whenever you're dealing with this part of the ascending colon, you're dealing with your heart. So if you have heart issues, guess what I got to look at first? I have to look at your gut. I have to bring gut restoration. I have to bring colon restoration to you. When you get to this corner right here, this is your liver. This is your liver. If you have liver problems right here, this is your liver, but literally neural point. You have nerves that's connected from here that connect you directly to this part of the colon. So in order to get it to respond well, then hey, I have to address this part. Now we going down. Now, well, this is the ascending colon, but we're going down the ascending colon. Eyes. You got a problem with your eyes, you have a problem with your transverse colon, your pituitary gland, and you have a problem with your cecum valve, because that's where your eyes at, your sinus system, your nose, your sinuses, your nasal patches. All of these are connected by what? Lymphatic transmitters, or what we call neurolymphatic points, y'all. If y'all getting this so far, type in some nines. Type in some nines. And we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. And then look at the bottom of your transverse colon. This deal with your lungs. So literally, in order to correct and fix the entire body, we must address and aid the digestive system, y'all. We must address and aid the digestive system. Now, inside of all of these, even in the secum valve, what I forgot to tell you is the only way these things are converted over into these simple amino acids and then the byproducts is pushed out is through something we call alkaline chlorophyll. Do anybody know what chlorophyll that's on my live feed right now? What this chlorophyll do is alkalize everything inside the system. The only way you can get this chlorophyll is through green, dark green leaves and green plants or botanicals that we call herbs. That's the only way you can get chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is blood, is the blood of plants. And inside of that chlorophyll is magnesium. Just like we have our lymphocytes is the blood of man, and inside of that is iron phosphate. Or inside of white people is zinc. You see what I'm saying? So everybody have their own key component and breakdown when it comes to their blood. So we need the blood of plants inside of our system at all times called chlorophyll to even convert all these things over to simple amino acids and to simple sugars to fuel the body. Y'all get that? Yes, it's for plants, chlorophyll. That's why we're supposed to be eating dark green leaf vegetables, y'all, as much as we can at night. Now, when you sick, I suggest nothing but fruits. But if you passing through your sickness and you need to start, it's time to start rebuilding. The best to get some good absorption going on. Make sure you eat a lot of dark green leaf vegetables, y'all. All right. So is y'all getting some understanding and overstanding so far? And look, this is just a simple breakdown. In my classes that I'm setting up and our courses we setting up, man, we get deep into it. We get deep into it. But this is just a simple breakdown to show that you have to address this part before anything can go. So once the food goes up the ascending colon and goes across the transverse colon and go down the descending colon and go through the sigmoid colon and get to the rectum colon, then it goes out through the anus. So what started out to be food that started in your mouth, it ain't food. It's something totally different once it leave out of your behind. It's something totally different. Something totally different. All right, let me click back on her again. Let's see. So what I want to hit on in my next video, for real, because I done ran out of time that quick. I really want to talk about the liver, talk about the gallbladder, because I can't really talk about sickness till we get in here. Because what happens to your sickness is the breakdowns of these organs, y'all, of these organs. And once you really start getting into what this is, you will see why my 3 bitters is going to change the world, literally, y'all. And you're going to see why the fruits that I suggest you going to change the world, because, like, this is on a scientific, like, some straight, man, some mad scientist stuff, man. I'm telling you, like, it's going to be crazy how, because everything that your body needs to restore is in one of those 3 bitters. It's in the food diet program. It's in the amino acid therapeutic program. This is why we are got so many patients that's healing so quick, because we understand the chemistry, the biochemistry, and the anatomy of the body. Now, we have to address the stomach first, but when you address the gut, I ain't gonna call it stomach, I'm gonna call it gut. Once you address that gut, you literally address everything else, because that's the only way to get nutrients absorbed throughout the body. You can't get it no other way unless you go through alcohol and then it go through the saliva glands and go straight into the bloodstream there. And that's why you take tinctures under the tongue, because the alcohol, the best way to bring any type of phytonutrients to penetrate a cell is through alcohol. Period. But yeah, see, that's what's going on. So look, I'm finna log off this. If y'all got some understanding on it so far, I'm gonna log off and come back on, because I want to show y'all what I got for y'all. So this is part 1 of that part, and then we're gonna come back to it, of course. And as far as the videos go, we're gonna keep getting in, going on the liver, the kidney, woody wop this. But now y'all see how y'all food absorb. On the next one, we're gonna show why sickness set in on them and why it's not working properly. Things that you done did to yourself to make it work like how it's working. And then we're gonna show how to get it together. And that's gonna be the beautiful part. These are all just what we call short classes, because I'm going way much more into details on my other page that I'm building right now through Vimeo into Patreon. And that's what we're going to do all of our herbalist classes. And I'm going to show you how to really mix up herbs, what's going on, and just everything. But all of this stuff right here is just free little summaries to show y'all really what's going on. It's a summary, y'all. Liquor. Yeah, alcohol's a liquor. Like what we use is what we use again? We use 100% Everclear to make our tinctures. It don't be that once the chlorophyll break it down, but that's what we start off with, because the quickest way to get any type of herb into a cell is by way of alcohol. A lot of people use lipids or what you call oils or glycerins, but they really don't work. They work like 64%. If you using if I'm talking about full-fledged grain alcohol, it'll go through that cell so quick, man. Super quick. Remember, it's about all biochemistry. All biochemistry. All right, so look, I'm finna log off this, family. I'm logging right back on. I got a gift for y'all. Y'all gonna have to do some signing up for it, but look, I'll be looking out for my people. All right, shalom, shalom, family. I'm coming right back on. And then I answer any questions y'all want on the new live feed. But I just needed to put this out there to show y'all that we are finna have a lot of classes about this stuff, and I'm gonna be showing y'all this stuff through presentation, and y'all be able to literally log into it. It'll be a community. Y'all can talk to each other on there, and we're gonna be doing certifications where I actually be able to certify you once you pass the test and mail it back to me, and the staff look over it. And we do our estimation on it. And if it's 98 above, and you ain't got to even have 100%. If you understand 98% of this, we're literally ready to certify you, and you can go on your journey and start doing the same thing. We looking for healers. We looking for healers, not customers, flat out. All right, family, shalom. Well, I got to get up out of here first, don't I?